Exactly. I had this conversation with Natalia Bereshansky. Must have been about 2 years ago. We were together in Richmond, and she said something that I'd heard before. And it's kind of I'm glad that you're making these points because it's a lot of things that I would say to Jeff or other guys, younger guys that I've helped along. Two things. She says in the Soviet Union, she said, number one, she said, you got to remember, she said, coaching is an art.
Bingo.
Science and art. And she said, you're just learning your craft.
Science seeks answers. Training seeks results.
Exactly.
How do I put those two together?
Exactly.
That's the art of coaching.
That's exactly what she said. And so she said, she said, look, if it's not working, it doesn't matter what the science says or what a research paper said. She said, if it's got to work. And you know, that is what it is. And Dr. Yes, I remember this is a long time ago when we first got together. I was asking him about some stuff. I said, I can't understand this guy. It's so complicated. He said, listen to me. He said, if you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it either.
I told Joe DeFranco, if you can't explain it to a waitress on a napkin, it's not worth it.
You don't got it either.
That's exactly right. You ain't got it. Again, it all goes back to being very simplistic in your approach.
Yes. Yes.
Listen, I'm not smarter than anybody in this country. I'm struggling to be smarter than everybody. That's why I read every day.
Right.
That's why I ask Anthony questions. That's why I ask Dan Path. That's why I spent a half hour with Ryan Flaherty on the phone yesterday just discussing speed.
Yeah.
But what I have that you don't have is experience.
Yes.
And through that experience comes wisdom.
Yes.
Wisdom is only gained through years and years of experience of doing things. And trust me, listen, I've made my mistakes. I'll be the first to admit that.
Right.
The guy you got to worry about is threefold. The guy that says he's never made any mistakes.
Right.
The guy who says, I don't know science, but I know how to train athletes.
Yeah.
There's a red flag.
Yeah.
Or this one, I'm old school. There's another red flag.
Yeah, that means you're stupid.
That's all you're telling me is you're lazy.
Yes.
And you're afraid
yes.
of somebody telling you what you're doing is not right.
Yeah.
The first thing I said to Ryan on the phone last night, I said, listen, Ryan, I'm so stoked about you coming to volunteer your time. Don't tell me what I'm doing right.
Yeah.
Critique what I'm doing and tell me what I'm doing wrong or how I can make it better.
Right.
That's why I want you here.
Right.
If you offend me, offend me.
I'll get over it.
I'll get over it. I'm a grown man.
Right.
But you know what? You're going to make me better.
Yeah.
Too many people are afraid of being offended.
Exactly.
Too many people are afraid of, no, what I am the ultimate strength. I know it all. You know, and that's what happened here before.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. I think what happens is, you correct me if I'm wrong, buddy, because I want people to understand this. Part of what has happened in the coaching with strength and conditioning, and this is my opinion, and I think I'm on the right track with this. It's become less about the science and or the art of coaching. It's become more of a representation of our culture. It's cultural. So we bring in here, it's going to be tough. You're going to have to see if you can survive and push yourself. You got to learn how to do all these things. And the reality is, we're not volunteering for the Navy SEALs. This, that's different. Their life's on the line. Totally different idea. Over here, your turn, and I use this term with my guys all the time because I try to capture what are they doing. I said, look, FMS, HRP, you got all these scores. I said the CTC score, the cut the check score is the only one that matters. Because if that kid didn't get a scholarship or he's in playing professional and he didn't get a paycheck, it doesn't matter what you did. It's irrelevant.
Here's what we've done, Joseph, and I want to do data collection. Don't get me wrong. But we're going to purchase based on purpose, like Derek Hansen has talked about. The foundation is going to be Catapult. I'm not going to put Catapult on my offensive lineman. Why? They're all static. They tie up. That's it.
Yeah.
Too much data.
Yeah.
Like we were at, again, a leader's performance in New York, and the one guy who owns a company called Halo. Wait a second, man. I forget. You ever hear of it, Jeff? He was talking about who's going to make sense of all the data. Dan Paff says, who's the gatekeeper? We can become so overstressed by all this volume, we can't see the forest through the trees.
Yeah.
So as I told Anthony, one of the reasons I brought him here was because he's tracked before. I said, here's all I'm concerned with. What's the volume of yardage, max speed, max deceleration, and load. Nothing else. Don't hit me with anything else. Because then I get too confused or caught up in the data.
Yeah, right.
And really, if you think about it, Charlie has said it, Dan Path, All the data is telling you or confirming you is what you already know as a good coach.
Yeah. Right.
Al Vermeil said it best. Don't let anybody ever tell you differently from what your eyes already clearly see.
Right. Exactly.
Being a
Exactly.
coach is about being observant.
Yes.
It's about problem solving.
Yeah.
So I've come to the point with BA, because I've known him for so long, is I can go up to him and I say, Larry Fitzgerald is a 12-year vet. Here's his volume of yards. He's getting close to no man's land. BA will go to me, what do you want to do? That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
But you get all this data, and I had a one-strength coach in the NFL call me and say, I found out my quarterback is vitamin D deficient. I said, 75% of America is vitamin D deficient.
Yeah.
He says, what are you doing for vitamin D? I said, have you seen where I live? It's 110 fucking degrees every day.
Walk outside for a few minutes. I'm good.
Yeah, we get 350 days of sun every day. Well, we get 365 days of sun every day.
Right.
We're outside for 2.5 hours a day.
Yeah.
I need vitamin D supplementation for my athletes?
Right.
Are you kidding me?
Right.
We're in the optimal environment.
Right.
And that goes back to our goal here, is creating the optimal environment for our guys to train in.
Right.
Through education,
Yes.
through training, through recovery, like I said, application and recovery from application, the constant open line of communication between our medical staff, our training staff, our PT, Brett Fisher, and myself. There isn't a day doesn't go by and I'll walk in a training room and discuss things with Tom Reed, our head trainer. There isn't a day that doesn't go by and I'll talk to Brett Fisher. Why would you alienate those people?
Not
because
smart.
your ego's too big,
Yeah.
and all you've done is put the player in the middle.
Yeah.
You're not going to suffer.
You're exactly right.
Trainers aren't going to suffer.
No.
The person that's going to suffer is the person you're supposed to be providing the greatest service for.
The guy you're getting paid to take care of.
Yep, that's exactly right. Why would you put them in that position?
Exactly. I agree with you 100%. You hear that all the time, too.
There's givers and there's takers, Yusuf. Be a giver. Don't be a taker. It ain't about you.
Right.
It's about them.
Right.
How can I do the best job?
Right.
When you think about it, we're stress managers, but we're also in the service industry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, when we travel, and you can ask anybody who knows me, I'm on the last freaking bus. I'm on the 4th bus.
Yeah.
I'm the last guy off the bus in the hotel. You know why? Because I don't want nobody to know who I am.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody to see me.
Right.
I don't want to talk to people.
Right.
Every player on this team knows, Buddy does just not want to deal with public people in the public.
I don't blame you.
My wife all the time. I could live in my office. I got an office. I'm going to get him to install a whiteboard and a TV in my office. We have a total organic kitchen.
Wow.
I have a bathroom and shower 30 feet away.
Right.
All I'm asking for is put a hammock from wall to wall. I'm good to go.
Yeah. Right. 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 You're good.
It's being simplistic in your approach to everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But like I said, it's when I talk to the younger guys, I share a couple quick anecdotes that I had that are similar to yours. I remember talking to Bondarchuk about, changing what he's doing and some of these things. And he said, I asked him, I said, how often do your thoughts, like when you look at what you're doing? He says, all the time change all the time. Yep. Now here you're talking to the greatest coach on planet Earth.
Yep.
Ever. Not just now, ever. There's nobody close to him, not even in his ballpark. And it was funny. He said, and then I was asking him about, I like asking them just what their opinions are about stuff that we do. Because him and I had this conversation last April, and he was talking about American coaches. And I had told him this 8 years ago. I said, listen, Anatoly, you got to talk down here. Because I said, you get up here and you lose everybody.
Yeah.
So you got to remember who you're talking to. Oh, and he's like, he doesn't believe me. I said, listen, nobody knows what you're talking about in the United States. I said, now they'll read your book. And I love the fact that they read the book and they buy it. I love them. I love them for that. They don't understand it. But they don't understand the book at all. And they'll call me and tell me they do. And I know they don't. I can talk to them for a few minutes and know they don't. So I asked him, I said, so what do you think now? I hadn't seen him in a couple of years. And he said, this coach, he said, stupid. I said, I told you 8 years ago, right? I know, I did not believe. It's stupid. And then he's listening to somebody talk about energy systems and monitoring systems.
Oh, God.
You got to love this one. He says, what energy systems? So he throws. What energy? What energy? And I said, what do you think about these monitoring systems all the time? He says, it's simple. How do you feel today? Okay, let's go.
Exactly. How you feel today?
And that's it. I mean, literally, he said, if you don't know within 2 minutes of the session getting started what what it looks like today, you're stupid. If you need a machine to tell you.
Here's my greatest indicator. And like Anthony just said, just watch them. Communicate with them. They're going to tell you.
Yeah.
You in college, you'll get your slappy who would lie to you.
Yeah.
We all get that.
Yeah.
On this level, these are grown men. They're not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
Programs, everything must evolve.
Yeah.
Your program better evolve.
Yeah.
If I'm doing the same thing I did 10 years ago, that's my fault.
Yeah. Right.
The amount of information is disseminated in this country and how it doubles every day, every minute.
Yeah.
That's on me.
Yeah.
But one of the ways I tell my guys is the central nervous system is most sensitive in the ears, the feet, and the hands.
Yeah.
Look at your non-dominant hand. For me, is my left finger, my left hand. If you glance down at your left hand and your little finger is curled up, that's a pretty good indication your nervous system is shot. Here's another indication. Go grab a weight. Does the weight feel heavy? You're shot.
That's all you need to know.
And strength, power, and speed levels are going to fluctuate on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
Look at what the word readiness means.
Yeah.
Maximum amount of stress you can handle at any one given point in time.
Absolutely.
That's going to be different. It's going to fluctuate on a daily basis, hourly basis, minute basis. There's going to be days, and we've all had it, when 90% feels like 30%. There's going to be days when 30% you're like, shit, do I even want to be it?
I can't do it. Right.
I can't. Fuck this. I'm done.
Right.
I'm going to walk on a treadmill for a while.
Right.
But it's for everybody. And as you watch your guys warm up, if you're truly watching them, you'll know to make adjustments, and you'll know.
Yeah.
But how many guys are actually, just like the dynamic, when you do an active dynamic warm-up, one of the benefits of that is you cause the brain to change the way it patterns movement. If you want to change movement patterns, you got to get the brain's attention. All movement begins in the brain. Slow it down. It amazes me a number of coaches who watch people do their active dynamic warm-up and how horrible lunging looks.
Yeah.
How they're not, we make our guys do everything perfect. We're constantly watching them. We're constantly shouting out verbal cues.
Yeah.
If it's not done right, we'll stop it and correct it.
Yeah.
And then we explain why we're correcting it.
Yeah.
And then we move on. But the value of all maintaining those basic movement patterns is what the warm-up is about. Like I said, when we got here, there was no warm-up. It was warm up on your own. Here, then we're going to run. Yeah. Run through the foot ladder a couple times. Then we're going to run 150s. What? That's not training. That's not a thought process.
Yeah.
That's not having a plan.
Yeah.
There's so many things wrong with that. I don't even want to get into because it irritates me.
Yeah.
And I'm getting too old to be irritated. Nowadays, I just laugh and I say, "Fuck it."
Well, you might as well. And this is exactly what I've told these younger guys that I help. I'm like, listen, don't get mad because you're not changing nothing. I said, what you should do. Here's what you should do. You should be happy that you don't have much competition.
Exactly.
That's what you should be. I'm happy. I love it when I hear stupid people talk. I'm like, good. Nobody's on my trail. I'm good.
I get some of my former interns will call me and say, we're doing this, this, and this. And I say, well, at least you're learning out what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
At least you're learning what not to do.
And you found out that nobody's like going to give you too much trouble either, producing better results. So.
What's amazing, Joseph and Jeff, people whose egos are very big or knowledge is very limited or ignorant have the strongest opinions.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll fight. Trust me. I got a person that keeps telling me football's lactic. I'm done. I can't do it anymore.
There's nothing to talk about. And the funny part is, to me, is it's like I tell Jeff and the other guys, it's like, look, is this alactic? I'm like, I don't even know, to tell you the truth. And I'm not lying. He knows I'm telling you the truth there. I'm like, I don't know, alactic, I have no idea. Here's what we're going to do, though, because that kid needs to do is be able to play a sport better. So let's talk about that.
Let's talk about sporting activity.
Let's talk about what he needs to be able to do.
All the energy systems are interdependent.
Exactly.
No system in the human body works independently of the other systems. We are a complex matrix system. You've seen the quote that I made years ago after talking to Dr. James Oshman, who authored Energy Medicine and Therapeutic Healing. Human body is nothing more than an interdependent matrix system. It communicates with and amongst itself all day long through electronically charged molecules. You're self-regulating, you're super-compensating, you're ever-evolving, fluctuating organism that is hell-bent on one thing. What's that one thing? survival.
Yeah.
That's adaptation. And adaptation is a non-linear process.
Yeah.
Nothing in life is linear.
No.
You know, I got an article the other day on my phone, and it was talking about intrinsic and extrinsic cues.
Yeah.
But it showed two lines. One was a straight line, and the other was a wiggly line with a straight arrow. Failure, this is true success. The wiggly line, it was all over the place,
right.
And then eventually went up. That's success.
Yeah.
You can't be afraid to fail.
No.
Arnold Schwarzenegger even said that.
No.
You cannot be afraid to fail.
No. No.
And you can't climb the ladder of success with your hands in your pocket.
No, I love. I'm so glad that we got this chance to talk because you sound like me talking to some of these other guys. And it's nice to hear somebody at the pro level because I hear so much BS, at the college and pro level, and so it's nice to hear that. And him and I were just talking the other day, and like things aren't working out. I'm like, listen, you honey badger everything. Honey badger doesn't care. He just keeps on trucking.
Yeah.
He does, and nothing's personal. Just keep going. You know what I mean? Honey badger gets stung, gets bit by whatever. Let's keep going. And it keeps the progress steady because you don't worry about everything else. It's just keep your mind on what the goal was, the original target.
Exactly
That's
right.
it. And I don't worry about anything else. And that way, the nice thing that was easy for me is, and there's an irony to this, a lot of the guys that I help are master's degrees. I don't even have a bachelor's degree in the field. So it's kind of ironic that here's that. Yeah, I ain't got it. You know what I mean? And what's funny is it makes it easier for me to say, like, if I was wrong about something, I'm like, well, you shouldn't ask me anyway. I ain't got a degree. It's your fault.
My degree is in speech and communication.
Amen.
So I can communicate what I read.
Right.
Like I said yesterday, I was talking to Ryan Flaherty, and I said, Drew Stan and Carson Palmer, they're training. I said, how the two stepbrothers doing? And he laughed and he goes, every time I tell them something, they say, okay, buddy, okay. So that tells me, and Ryan pointed out, we are speaking the same language.
Yes. Yes.
And the good ones will speak the same language.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, there's common denominators.
Yes.
He may do things slightly different.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there are denominators that are common amongst he and I.
Yeah.
And I'm curious as hell, like I said, because it's a great opportunity. And I promised Michael Bidwell, Steve Kime, and BA when I came here, we're going to have continuing education as a staff.
Yeah.
We're not going to sit around and be dumb.
Yeah.
We're not going to be the guys who say, well, I'm in the NFL, everybody should be coming to me for answers. That's not us.
Yeah.
So as I text Anthony yesterday, I said, we got a great opportunity coming up with Ryan Flaherty coming in. I brought Joel Jameson in. And I think it was before I hired Anthony. And I had a great assistant here named Pete Alosi, who's now helping his brother at UCLA. And Pete is one of those guys that's very young and very hungry for knowledge. But Joel Jameson came down for 2 days and spoke to us. I'm going to continually do things and we're going to go visit Dan Path constantly. And we're going to go to Virginia's clinic next year. We've already budgeted for it. And we're going to budget, I guess the University of Oregon does one every other year. I want to go visit James Radcliffe. I want to go to British Columbia to see Derek Hansen. Yeah. I want to go everywhere I can within the time parameters that are permitted, so I don't take time away from my athletes, to gain more and more knowledge so I can better provide for the people I'm responsible for.
Right. And
plenty of time for time off.
And by the way, I didn't get a chance to say this in the beginning, but I want to now. I got to give you, and you probably may or not remember, but this has been, when were you in Cleveland the first time?
2001 to 2004.
Okay. I called you during that time. I think it was in the early 2000s. Dr. Yessis was going to be giving a speech in Cleveland. I called you. I said, hey, I just wanted to let you know he's going to be. We didn't know each other from Adam. And I remember, and it's funny because I remember the conversation completely. You said, oh, no kidding. I got a stack of his Soviet sports reviews on my desk right now. I'm sitting right in front of him. And I said, I just wanted to let you know, okay, great. See if I can work it out. And then I think we didn't talk again until I did the clinic with Veroshansky. And here's the point. I'm at, 15 books now that we've translated and are publishing. I got 2 more that are coming out right now, actually, and I'm going to send them to you guys. One from Bondarchuk and one from Isran. But we really owe you a debt of gratitude because in the beginning, I was just getting started. I didn't know what I was doing at all, really. I was taking a shot in the dark. And you guys supported us when you were in Cleveland, and it really had a real beneficial, positive effect on me as we moved forward. This was my first try. You took a chance. You guys came up. You don't know me. I mean, you knew my guests, and they were good. Good speakers, obviously, but you guys didn't know me, and I really appreciate that because at that stage, I didn't know what I was doing. I knew who the speakers were. I knew who the guys were that were good, but I didn't know anything else. I knew nothing. And you guys were really critical in my success at the initial stages because now it's snowballed. Now it's bigger. Now, now I've got customers at, in NFL, NHL, all the different sports, all the different colleges. But you guys were the first ones to support me. And I really appreciate that because of you, I met, I can't even count how many people I met because of you guys at that initial stage. And you were a catalyst for this, buddy. You really were.
You weren't afraid to get outside of that myopia that we suffer in. You didn't want to be in that vast majority.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in that vast majority.
Yeah.
I want to make a statement. I want to change the status quo. The only way things change in this country, Joseph, is to upset the status quo.
Right.
We, Jeff, Anthony, all these other great ones, we upset the status quo. The status quo doesn't want to be upset.
No.
They're comfortable doing just what they do. Now you start to upset them and make them think about what they're doing.
Yeah.
They don't like that very much.
No.
But that's the only way change comes. I'm sure when Alexander Graham Bell picked up the two cans and a wire, he didn't expect everybody to see everybody walk around with a cell phone.
Right.
That wasn't it, but it's evolved.
Yeah.
But he upset the status quo.
Yeah.
That's how we evolve as a society. I still have every copy of Soviet Sports Review. It's in my mother's house.
And they're gold still.
I swear to God, I'm only lacking one copy. See? There you go.
Whichever
I may have to call you, Jeff.
one you're missing, I'll get it for you.
That's what I heard. You're in the City of Champions, huh?
Yeah.
Here's a great thing about being in Pittsburgh. Number one, Pittsburghers are not afraid to tell you like it is.
Yeah.
Number two, we're not afraid to roll up our sleeves and go to work.
Yeah.
We're finding on blue collar.
Right.
It's not white. We're not a white collar city.
No.
We're a blue collar city.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. So don't try and change the image.
Yeah.
Last but not least, we sure ain't afraid to roll around on the fucking ground with you.
Yeah.
That's what I love about being a Pittsburgher. Besides win championships.
Right.
But I'm not a beer drinker. Trust me. It's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
To me. And Anthony's from Pittsburgh too. Roger went to Pitt. I have everybody on my staff is Pitt people.
That's that's way cool.
To be honest with you, everybody is here speaks the same language.
Yeah.
I'm going back because my wife is, like I said, competing in nationals in Pittsburgh.
Really?
But I'm going to go to my mother's house, probably steal all my Soviet sport reviews and just have them email. I spent over $300 shipping books out here to begin with.
Yeah. That's
so I'm going to ship the rest of my books out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, I've always said, if you limit your knowledge, you limit your abilities. If you limit your abilities, you limit the development of your athletes.
Absolutely.
That's your job.
Absolutely.
What do they? You'll always get accolades. You always get people patting you on the back. I'm like, for what? I'm just doing my job.
Yeah.
That's what the fuck they pay me to do.
Yeah. Right.
Don't pat me on the back. Don't tell me how great I am.
Right.
I don't want to hear that nonsense.
Yeah.
I'm not on this level for the notoriety. I'm on this level because I want to challenge and train the elite athlete.
Right.
That's what I've worked all my life to do.
Yeah.
I know I'm not here forever. It's the
Yeah.
NFL.
Yeah.
But as long as I'm not here, they're going to remember me.
Right.
They're going to remember me.
Yeah, they won't forget you. That's for sure.
They're not going to forget what we did because of our commitment to the program.
Yeah.
Our commitment to the organization, our commitment to winning.
Yeah. Yeah.
As a strength coach, it ain't about time off. This is, to me, one of the greatest. You're in the greatest profession in the world. I don't have to shave every day. I don't have to put on deodorant every day.
Amen.
I don't have to brush my teeth. Oh, I dress in sweatpants, t-shirts, shorts.
Yep.
I don't have to watch my language all the time. And in this organization, which it took me 36 years to get here, it's the best environment situation I've ever been in.
Yeah.
I've never been in an environment where everybody comes to work with the same goal.
Yeah.
Nobody has their own agenda. From Michael Bidwell to Steve Kahn to BA to even the guy that empties the garbage in my office. Everybody's on the same page. First thing I told Anthony, I said, this will be the greatest environment you'll ever be in.
Yeah.
Because everybody is on, from the players, everybody's on the same page.
That's way cool.
There's no distractions. The environment to create a championship team is being nurtured here.
Yeah.
Every day. Listen, We redid our facility. Michael Bidwell built me a great weight room. We got a total organic cafeteria, a brand new locker room. But one day, Michael Bidwell comes down with BA, and they go, "We want to see you." I'm like, "Oh shit,
What I do now?
oh fuck." But it was Michael Bidwell's idea. We have in the back room here a special room, a sleep and recovery room. Guys can go because of the length of the day.
Yeah.
They have downtime to lay on one of those tables. You know, the chiropractor lays you on vibration thing with Norma Tech's back there. It's as black as a cave.
Yeah.
They got lounge chairs back there. You can go back there and take a nap for a half hour.
Amen.
How genius is that? That's from the owner. That wasn't my idea.
Yeah.
That was from the owner. That's how committed, and that's how we're looking at everything we can possibly do for guys to create the ultimate environment to be successful.
That's really, yeah, and that's it's sad, but it's sad that that's cutting edge, but it really actually is right now. It's cutting edge, you know, to get that sleep. That's like a new thing for people in the United States. I remember this back 20 years ago, buddy, when I first got in the field. I remember talking to Doc, and he said, "Look," he said, at the Olympic level, he said these guys were getting 8 to 10 hours of sleep at night. He said, and then they normally took 1, if not 2 naps
after the day,
every day.
Yep.
So they go in and train, eat, sleep, come back, train, eat, sleep, boom, do it all over again. He said they never got less than 8 hours of sleep at night, ever.
It's provided for us by the good Lord. It's innately built into the organism, built into the system. You talk about the goal of training is to increase the biological output of the organism,
right? To
improve the working ability of the body systems as a whole,
right?
To improve those working abilities, again, it's built in to recover those abilities so they can support and develop together.
Yeah.
Everything is built in for what we need.
Yes.
We just have to understand, instead of going outside, it's provided.
Yeah.
Yes, those other forms, I love deep water immersion. I love floating, all that stuff. But this afternoon, I'm going home and taking a nap.
And it works better than anything else you can do.
That's exactly right.
It works better than anything.
Anything. That's exactly right.
There's nothing, no method that's better than sleep.
There is no magic supplement on the market.
No.
There is no magic restoration exercise.
No treatment.
There's no treatment. Just go sleep.
No.
Take a nap. It's the best thing in the world for it. And it doesn't have to be a 4-hour nap.
No.
I'll go home and nap for about an hour.
Yeah.
My wife will wake me up. I feel great.
Yeah. Yeah. And your body will appreciate it as well. Now, I mean, exactly. So I think, you know, the great thing about talking to you today, buddy, is number one is always be learning and looking at something. And a lot of people say that. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm always learning. Not really. You know, they're BSing each other, I think, a lot of times, patting each other on the back. Oh, yeah, we're both on the same right track. I think that, like what you said, and Dr. Estes has said this many times, he said, people think that there was a unified front in the Soviet Union for sports science. He said these guys hated each other.
Yeah, exactly.
He said, and they publicly disparaged each other any opportunity they had. And and now that I know a lot of them personally, I can tell you this: they all don't like each other, and they all think they're the smartest one in the group.
Smart in the community.
Every one of them does. Every one. And I guess, and that's how progress, though, is made. It's not by us sitting here talking, oh, yeah, we're all on the right track. No, it's like saying, hey, you know what? I think what you're doing, I don't think that makes sense. Explain to me why. You know what I mean? And then one of us has to go back and look at what we're doing and maybe adjust. You know what I mean? And
right.
One day it might be you, and the next day it might be me that has to adjust on, wow, he's got a point. I never thought about it that way. You know what I mean? Instead of getting all upset.
We're not all clones.
No.
We're not clones.
And it doesn't make sense. I mean, how in the world can you get progress if somebody's not questioning what you do? And I tell Jeff and them all the time, I said, you need to constantly critique what you do. Don't defend it. Never defend what you do. Critique what you do.
How can I do it better?
How can I do this better? Because I probably am missing something here.
Listen, my desk is an absolute mess. When I speak, the very first slide I show is a slide of Einstein's desk. And he talks about if the sign of a cluttered desk is a sign of a cluttered mind, then what is an empty desk a sign? An empty mind.
Amen. Exactly.
I have one desk at home. It's in our kind of kitchen, like little breakfast nook that my wife gives me, where I got shit everywhere.
It's your spot. Yeah. Right.
And I can tell you right now, Training for Speed, Applied Sprint Training, Joe DeFranco's book on speed, and 3 articles by Hank Krakenhoff, which I hope I say his name is right.
Kragenhoff.
Kragenhoff?
Kragenhoff.
Kragenhoff.
I had to get that down a couple of months ago myself.
Is right there on the desk, on the
Yeah.
on the table and chair that I have.
Yeah.
Plus 1,000 notes I've made.
Yeah.
So on my desk, it's a mess. But to me, it's a sign of a busy mind.
Yes. Yes.
You're always thinking.
Yes.
Einstein had a busy mind.
Yes.
He was one of the most intelligent men in the world. That's why I've asked him to put a whiteboard in my office, so I can just start. When we were in Cleveland, I don't know if you remember, Tommy and I had a whiteboard in my office, 2 whiteboards. One day, Judd Logan, Derek Woodsky, and AJ, who was on the Canadian B team for the disc, came up, and we filled both whiteboards with ideas.
Yeah.
And information.
Yeah.
But I want to have a whiteboard where I could just write things down, because right now I put them on Post-it notes, and I'm like, Anthony, where's this at?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's all, and I got to go looking for things, because I know I've seen it. I know it's here.
Yeah. Right.
Where did I put it?
Right.
You know? So, I mean, that just goes back to Joseph about being passionate what you do.
Yeah.
Are you passionate for what you do?
Yeah.
This has been my greatest passion, and it's never changed. People ask me all the time, how much longer are you going to coach? We have Tom Moore on our staff, architect of one of the greatest Super Bowl teams in Pittsburgh Steelers history.
Yeah.
74 years old, the guy's still coaching.
Wow.
I tell Anthony all the time, when you get a job as a head guy, and I'm in my 70s, you better fucking bring me in as assistant.
Right. Don't leave me.
Do not leave me hanging out here to deal with normal people. My neighbor came over yesterday. My wife goes, you didn't say a word.
Yeah.
Like, what was you going to talk about? I don't want to talk about my tomatoes I grew last week or the cucumbers. I don't want to talk about the weather. I'm just socially inept, I guess.
Yeah. Right.
You know,
Right. You're one track mind.
You want to talk training? Let's come on. Mark, the 49ers came down one Sunday afternoon. We sat in my dining room for 6 hours talking training.
Yeah. He's a good guy. I like him.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
I was to death to meet Ferguson Conley at the Leaders Performance Summit in New York. Met a lot of great people.
I didn't even know that was going on until you mentioned it to me. Sounds like a good deal. Do they do it annually?
And they do it annually. They're going to start doing them more. They're going to do one on the West Coast next year. But here's what it is. It's not so much research, Joseph. It's how people are applying the research in the real world.
That's what I want to know about anyway.
And the best speakers I saw was a guy, I forget his name. Damn it. He was head of NASCAR. Funny, one of the funniest dudes I ever met. And Sanji, and I forget his last name, head of neurosurgery at New York Hospital Special Surgeries.
Okay.
And they were talking about pressure. And Sanji brings up, he's doing he operates on brain aneurysms 2 or 3 a week. And I guess this guy had a brain aneurysm and somebody had tried to repair, and they used a clip to clip it off. But they didn't get the clip all the way on. Wow. So now here's a guy who's looking through a magnifying scope, magnified over 20 times its original size. He's 4 feet away from the guy's head with instruments. And as he starts to put the clip on, their aneurysm ruptures. He's now got 2 minutes to put his clip on and save this guy's life.
Wow.
That's pressure.
No kidding.
And they showed the actual video of clipping through the membrane, exposing the aneurysm, and then all of a sudden, red everywhere. Now, I'd have panicked. I've been like, what the fuck?
Right.
They were just calm, cool, and collected because, like Charlie Francis said, do what you've done 1,000 times in training.
Yeah.
The day you decide to do something special is the day you screw it up.
Yeah. Do that on a day it doesn't count.
Yeah. Trust your training.
Yes. Yeah.
Trust the process.
Yeah.
Everybody has a process. And the process isn't enjoyable all the time. But just that's just the way the process is.
It's a grind. I mean, there's no way around it. If you look at all the different books on professional development of being highly skilled, it's the people who put in the hours of deliberate practice. It wasn't fun.
Look at the people who are successful. They made mistakes and they're not afraid to admit it.
Yeah, yeah. You actually have to embrace them.
You got to know failure before you know success.
Oh, I tell these guys, I said, you know what, you're kind of spoiled because you guys get to not make the mistakes I made. I did so many stupid things I can't even. They're embarrassing at this point.
Oh, it is.
But and I tell these guys, I said, you get the luxury of not making mistakes I made. You get to make less stupid mistakes because I already did them for you.
That's what I tell my young guys, learn from mistakes I made. I look at the programs I wrote in 1980 when I was first hired at the University of Pittsburgh.
Right.
I look at the conditioning book I sent out. I'm like, who the fuck wrote this?
Right. I would have fired myself.
Did I write this?
Yeah, right.
You're going to be kidding me.
Yeah.
But then again, back in 1980, think about it, Yosef. I had a track background, so I knew the value of speed.
Sure.
I knew the value. If you want to run fast, be fast, you're still going to run fast.
Yeah.
So we did in track practice.
Right.
I knew the value of lifting weights. What I confused was the world of bodybuilding and weight.
Yeah, right.
And training for an athlete.
Sure.
Now, I'm a bodybuilder. I've competed. I retired at the age of 52.
Yeah.
I'll be the first to admit I'm a bodybuilder. You know what? As a bodybuilder, I was pretty damn strong.
Yeah. So
you can't take that away from me.
Right.
And I was pretty explosive. I mean, I ran a 10-400 meters out of high school.
That's fast.
Now, in 1975, I was inherently gifted. But if I think about it, and this is one of the things I point out about the article I wrote for Joel Jameson, everything I did in those early years supported the development of power speed acquisition.
Yeah.
Every sport I played.
Yeah.
We sprinted around the block, and around my neighborhood was exactly 200 meters. Yeah. We sprinted up hills. We played pickup football games, played pickup wiffle ball. Every sport that could be played, we played.
Yeah.
The mistake I think we make in this country nowadays is early specialization.
Absolutely.
Remember this, all new movements are developed on the basis of old links of coordination.
Yeah.
The greater the stock of, or pool of old reflective driving links, the greater the motor ability to develop. You know what I just said? Play multiple sports, develop multiple skills.
Yeah, 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 yes. And do it a lot.
I was helping a friend of mine train his son last year, and he went from being the slowest kid in school to the second fastest. Now, again, this was over 4 years because the kid started me when he was 11.
Yeah.
His father told me, well, he's not going to play basketball this year. I said, I'm not training him.
Yeah.
Because he just wants to lift. I said, he'll become a better weightlifter.
Yeah, exactly.
That necessarily means he's going to become a better athlete.
Exactly.
So now the father's calling me again. I said, he's back to playing 3 sports. I said, the way it should be. He's 16. Why do you want him specializing? Right. Unfortunately, we're moving towards that because of parents.
If the parents are the nutty ones, it's not the kids.
Parents are the worst. Listen, I had 2 daughters. Both of them ran track and field and cross country. My oldest daughter had to work like crazy. And my oldest daughter's on a liver transplant list. So she had to deal with that.
Yeah.
My youngest daughter was the most gifted. High jump 5'6", the first time my first wife was an alternate to the 76 Olympic team. First time my youngest daughter, Claire, for high jump, she went 5'6" after being showed the Fosbury flop.
Wow.
She hated it.
Yeah.
I would take her to the gym. She'd do 1 glute ham raise. She'd say, can we go home now? My oldest daughter was like me. She just wanted to be there and grind all day.
Yeah.
But the fact is, what I did was I never got involved in their coaching.
Yeah.
In the off season, they could train with dad. But when they were in school, don't come home to me and bitch about coaching.
Yeah.
You're going to do what your coaches tell you to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And if anybody was in a position to correct, it was me.
Yeah.
Didn't say a word.
Yep.
Let coaches coach.
Yes. Yes.
Stay the hell out of their way.
Yes. Yes.
If your kid isn't very good, that's not the coach's fault.
No.
You know, Ralph Mann points out 8 performance limiting factors we all possess as human beings in his book, Mechanics of Sprinting and Hurdling. 8 factors. Of those 8 factors, guess how many we have control over? 1.
Right.
That's developmental.
Yeah.
If I had 2 sons, the very first thing they would have done would have been involved in gymnastics or martial arts.
Yeah.
Use the body as external resistance, develop multiple motor patterns, putting them together. My daughters, first thing they went to dance. Highly coordinated activity.
Yeah.
To develop their athleticism.
Yeah.
By the age of 11, they could both hold an iso hold lunge for 1 minute without moving. Now, again, they had the benefit of me progressing over time.
Right.
But what I'm trying to point out is I never got involved in their coaching, in their sport.
Yeah.
I stayed back.
No.
I went to as many events as I could, but I did not call the coach and say, hey, you need to do it this way.
I told my wife, I have 3 sons, and I told my wife, because she said, well, it'd be nice if the kids get so-and-so as a coach, this nice guy. And I said, you know what? Actually, what I want them to get is coaches that aren't that good or nice. I said, because that's the way the world works.
Yep.
Because when you go get a job, your boss ain't going to be a nice guy necessarily. He might be the biggest prick you ever met, but he's your boss. So I've always said even bad coaches mean coaches, whatever. You're going to get a variety, and I want you to get a variety because that's the way the world works. It's not, oh gosh, I hope this guy is the right guy to bring my kid's talents out. Listen, if the kid's got talent, you ain't got to worry about it. It'll happen.
It'll happen. Exactly.
It'll happen. You ain't got to worry about that. The guy might be an idiot, yeah, but the next coach will pick up on it. You don't have to worry about it. But it's good for the kid to be in a situation where I think the biggest problem at the pro level and at college level, probably the most, where you get kids who they were in the situation, they were coddled, and now they've never been told no by anybody. And
that's all society.
Yeah, and they think that they can be a dickhead whenever they want to because they're so and so.
Yep.
And and I think that's one of the worst things that we, and you see it at the pro level too, guys. It's like, the guy, his contract's so huge that he'll get you fired because they'd rather get rid of you before they'd rather, you know what I mean? There's situations on teams where the coach is going before the player's going in certain situations. And that's just totally the wrong, just no respect for authority, respect for coaching. And the kid has a totally wrong attitude, about everything. And like you said, I'm in a position with my kids and their coaches. I could teach the coach something. No coach has ever heard one word from me, and they never will.
I was the same way. And listen, being in the Arizona Cardinals organization, Michael Bidwell, Steve Kine, BA have gone out of their way. We have some of the greatest group of men I've ever been around.
That's huge.
I've never seen more unselfish giving people in my entire life.
Huge.
Like I said, it's the championship environment is being nurtured here from the top down.
Yeah.
And we've gone out of our way to bring in some quality guys. And we got some, I'm telling you, you won't find a better person than Larry Fitzgerald, Carson Palmer,
yeah,
Frosty Rock. These guys are just great people. Matt Shaughnessy, even the rookies we brought in.
Yeah.
They're just great people to be around. And, and unfortunately you have your bad apples, which give everybody else.
Yeah, every team's got them.
This is, like I said, this is the best environment, best situation I've ever been in 36 years of coaching.
That's amazing. And and like I said, I'm very happy for you. I remember when you got I remember when I found that you had gotten the call for the team. I know you weren't happy being in the private sector, number one.
No, I hated it.
And I know that Buffalo wasn't the favorite place for you either. No. So I was happy when I saw you got the job. I'm like, oh, that's fantastic.
When BA told me I got the job, I broke down and cried in his office. I said, I need a minute, BA.
I gotta take it all in.
And I just lost it. Because when somebody takes your passion away from you,
yeah,
not because you didn't do your job, just because of arrogance,
yes,
ignorance,
yes,
and they take your passion away from you for no reason,
yeah,
and you sit, every strength coach in the country should sit around unemployed for 2 years to make them appreciate what they have.
You wake up with a whole different attitude.
Because you know what? When you got a job, everybody wants you. When you don't,
yeah,
it's like having a girlfriend. You got a girlfriend, everybody wants you.
Yeah.
When you dump your girlfriend, you're like, okay, where'd they all go?
Yeah, and now nobody cares anymore.
It's like you got leprosy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? So it's made me truly appreciate, which is why I'm in my office 7 days a week.
Yeah.
I don't have to be.
Yeah.
And the only time I really ask Anthony to come in on weekends, when he's a Pittsburgher just as bad as me, is because me and my computer skills.
But they're about like mine.
They're non-existent. I was panicking this morning, yelling at Anthony. How do we get on it? What the fuck is Skype?
Yeah. I didn't know what it was either. Jeff does everything. I'm like, Jeff.
See that? Anthony's my tech guy. Jeff, listen. Here's a short story. I walked in. I have an iPhone 3. I don't care. I had no more sound on it.
Right.
Can't hear the ringer. I can't play Pandora. Can't no music. I don't care.
Text only.
I can text only. So my wife and I go to the AT&T store, and the tech starts talking to me about the cloud. What is the cloud? What the fuck is the cloud?
Yeah, right.
So he started talking about the cloud. I said, hold on there, John J. Rambo.
Right.
I said, let me explain to you what this is like for me.
Right.
I said, my wife can out bench press you.
Yeah.
That's easy for her, very difficult for you.
Yeah.
When you start talking tech with me,
right,
that's how difficult it is for me.
Right.
I said, now dummy it down, Sparky.
Right. Right.
5 minutes later, I left. I said, I'm done. I'm just keeping my phone till it just dies.
I don't get it. Right.
It's not. I'm not one of those gadget gizmo geeks.
I'm not. I'm terrible at it, and he makes fun of me all the time because he's like,
everybody makes fun of me. My daughters make fun of me.
I'm like, I don't know. My 8-year-old's got to explain to me how to use my phone and
Yep, same thing.
Say it. And these guys, they ride me. He's like, all you got to do is search. I'm like, listen, don't even say it because I don't even know what you're talking about. Just make it happen. That.
All you got to do. Really? That's all I got to do?
Yeah.
Well, how come I can't do it then?
Because I can't figure it out. And I just tell them, you guys make it happen and tell me when it's ready.
That's exactly.
Don't explain to me what you did because I don't care.
No, I don't care either.
I don't care what you did.
It has nothing to do with helping my guys get better. It has nothing to do with me increasing my knowledge on training. I don't want to know. I'm not a techno geek.
Buddy, you and I are kindred spirits in that way. I can tell you that because I'm the biggest techno idiot I know.
No, you're worse. I'm worse than you. Trust me.
You might be worse than you. These guys are schooling me on this whole thing.
You'll hear my phone. My Anthony and Roger will hear my phone slam off my desk 20 times a day because it's not doing what I think it should be able to do.
Beat the hell out of it. Yeah, I know that.
It's not listening to me. It has a mind of its own, which. They say, well, you got to think like the computer. I'm like, no, the computer got to think like me.
Exactly. I'm with you 100%, bro. That's exactly it. Listen, we would love, and I know you guys are busy at some point to get back together with you guys again because this would be great.
Love to.
A great conversation. And by the way, Anthony, I don't know how many of our books you have or don't have or want, but ask Buddy, put a list together of any books that we publish that you don't have, and I'll get them out.
I'll look at what I have.
He's looking at it right now.
All right, yeah. And now I got Bondarchuk just did a book. It's at the printer right now. Isrin's book is going to the printer tomorrow, the next day. I got a book from Hank Kranhoff that's coming out next month.
Perfect.
So we're working on the editing for it right now, buddy. And then I got 2 more that Bondarchuk wrote that are in process right now. They're in the translation process. So I've got like at least 5 books. And now another thing I want to tell you, you were talking about the adaptation. Did you ever get the General Adaptation Syndrome DVD from Veroshansky from Natalia?
No, I never did.
Okay, you got to get that because
send it.
It's great. And you're gonna like that. Text me over your address and I'll get that in the mail to you because that one will solidify scientifically kind of what your premise, your premise was that she said, look, Garkavi, one of the scientists in the Soviet Union back in the 70s said, look, it's actually not stress that we're worried about. And she said the amount of load the athlete has shouldn't be too high or too low. It actually should be medium, the medium level irritant. And, we found that to also be the case because I've said this a lot to a lot of other coaches. I said, how do you know you're not doing too much if you've never done too little?
Minimal effective dose.
Yeah. So what if you don't know what it takes to even move the needle, then how do you know if it's not too much? You know what I mean?
Like Hank Krakenoff said, rather undertrain, overtrain. Overtrain invitation for injury, and I can fix undertraining.
That's where you're going to if you're going to make the mistake, make it on the under. You can always just turn it up a little bit.
Charlie Francis said it best. Less is more.
Yeah, you can always turn it up a little bit. But that's a great one because she's quoting, a lot of people didn't know who Garkavi was. She was actually a female scientist. And she didn't get a lot of press because she was a female. But her research was cutting edge. I mean, it was 40 years ago, but it's very cutting edge. I'm going to send you that. And then, Anthony, put that list together. Have one of you guys just get back to me. I'll put it together in one package.
I'll shoot you an email here.
I'm going to text you the address here at the facility.
All right.
Because I think in Arizona, we're still on the Pony Express. It takes 10 days from mail to get from Pittsburgh. I think once it hits the Arizona border, we go back to the cowboy and Indian days.
Yeah.
Are you guys going out to the Virginia clinics?
Jeff's going. I can't go, but Jeff's going. Are you guys going next year?
We're going to go next year. Jeff, you got to hook up with Anthony this year.
Yeah, I'm going to go. Yeah.
Are you going to be there, Anthony?
Yeah. Anthony's going, yes.
Okay. I tell you what, Anthony, just go over to the table. Jeff and Matt Tomey are going to be doing my table for my business. If you see anything there that you don't have, just get it.
Okay.
Just pick it up.
Appreciate
and then I'm going to put a box in the mail to you, buddy, tomorrow, the next day with all the other stuff. Let you know, though, she is going to be in San Antonio in January, from what we know, for the NSCA National Conference.
That's the coaches one.
Okay.
She's going to be there.
All right. Hopefully we're in the
playoffs.
playoffs.
If you guys are in the playoffs, obviously you can't leave. But if otherwise, I think Jay might be having her back to Richmond that year, so you guys won't want to miss out. We're trying to put a couple other speakers together for that event. Maybe Atko Viru's son, maybe.
Okay.
He might come. We might look at him next year. There's a couple other guys that we've talked to, but we'll have at least one or two of the former Russian scientists, and maybe one of the East Germans, possibly. I don't know yet. We're still working on it.
Right.
So you guys definitely won't want to miss it, and I'll be there next year. This year I can't get out of town. I got something here.
We'll be there next year. Guarantee we'll be there next year.
Now, the other thing I wanted to mention to you too before I let you go, when I sent you that the MyoSync, what we found is it is increasing the vertical jump by about 1 inch in an hour, right, Jeff? So if you take it, you go back and measure the vertical, it'll go up at about 1 inch. What we're getting ready to test right now is a Gym Aware and a couple of these other products where they measure power output.
Right.
We're going to test this on it. But what we're able to tell is that there is a change in power output. We haven't measured it on a device yet. So that might be.
Okay.
I think there's something to it. We're on the right. You guys know who Rick Bruner is, right?
Oh, absolutely. He wrote the book. He wrote it with Ben. What is it? Tabachek?
Tabachnik. Well, you
okay.
You have the book that he wrote with me?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'm going to drop that.
I had the one about Soviet restorative and recovery methods.
That was over 20 years ago, right?
Yeah, but you know what? I got that.
So here's the new one. Explosive ergogenics, and this is all cutting edge. You've never seen any of the material in this book anywhere else.
I gotta see it.
Okay, so anyway, he talks about the neurological supplementation, and MyoSync, the product, is that. It's basically, he talks about it in the book. After he wrote the book, he added 2 ingredients that we didn't know about. One was rosemary extract. The other one was an American ginseng that both had a positive effect on the nervous system. So the original ingredients plus 2 that are in MyoSync, but this was Rick's creation, and we did it together. And what we're finding is, like I said, I mean, just in general, if everybody on the team's vertical goes up 1 inch in an hour, what the heck?
That's impressive.
You know, I mean, because if you translate that onto speed and other things,
one of the greatest indicator of true speed is vertical jump.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll tell you what I saw in practical sessions. If I had a guy using a depth jump, and normally he would go up about 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch in rebound height every workout. When I gave him this, it went up by a whole inch. So it went up about 4 times as much in one workout.
That's impressive.
Yeah, and it kept doing it. So any amount that you guys need you want to test and just fool around with, you let me know. I'll send it.
Send us a couple bottles, but let me ask you this: what was the decay after? In other words, what was the drop off after?
5 hours.
Okay.
So if you take it, what we'll tell guys is, look, if you're going to go in and work out, take it an hour, about 60 minutes before the workout. It's going to stay in the system. So now alpha GPC dissipates really quick. But we put Huperzine A in there, holds it, and it's about a 5-hour window. So you have any competition or any workout is your window. Now, here's what we just are learning right now. There's 2 research studies that are going to be done this fall, one at Michigan Tech and one at Northwestern College in Iowa. Here's what's interesting. What we're going to research is what effect it's having at the synaptic cleft. Apparently what's happening there is you're getting more acetylcholine receptors are being created. Not that you're taking up more, but the receptors are higher. Okay, so now get this. Here's the cool part about this supplement, and we're still learning about it, to be perfectly honest with you, buddy, is that there apparently is no adaptation to it like there's with creatine. Creatine gets up to a certain level, it's done.
Done. Bingo.
That's it. Your body stops making its own. This isn't about how much your body makes. It's changing how much the body can uptake. So the receptors keep being created with no end.
That's impressive.
So when we've done explosive work, buddy, I've seen, the vertical jump go up, 3 or 4 inches with a guy who's already a higher level guy that's been training for a while.
What is it in gestation period before they start training? What's the simulation? Half hour before, hour before?
1 hour.
1 hour? Okay.
1 hour. Yeah. So what we did was and Jeff did this too. He took it, waited an hour, went back and checked vertical, and it went up 1 inch. And I did it with Matt up at Michigan Tech. He did the same thing, went up an hour, in an hour, went up 1 inch. I've seen it multiple times with multiple people, so I'm figuring it's probably pretty safe. It might be up or down with different people, but something's going on.
Obviously, it's going to be different for different people, but
yeah.
The fact that you get results like that.
Yeah, that's with a female. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's impressive. You're kidding.
Yeah. No. And here's the other thing, buddy. Here's another kicker that and Rick put this together. I have a baseball player that I work with, and we wanted to see what reaction time was like because this affects reaction time and decision making ability, quick neural processing, right? So I put him in front of a 144 mile an hour equivalent fastball. He got solid contact over 50% of the time with the ball at 144 miles an hour. And then I took him out on the baseball field in August. He threw the ball 285 feet in the air. 4 months later, while training and using it, he threw it 333 feet in the air. So it was almost 50 feet improvement in 4 months.
So you're saying the ability to respond with physical accuracy is enhanced also?
Yeah, your quarterback goes back and makes his reads. Boom, 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 boom. It happens faster. Your cornerback, I had this happen with a cornerback. He goes back and makes his reads. It's faster. Everything's faster.
I got that bottle somewhere.
I'm going to send you more.
Here's what happened.
I got one at home. I took one from him. So
we changed my office.
Here's the problem with it. Here's the problem with it, buddy. And this is the thing that I have to get the coaches to understand is the athlete's not going to feel anything. It's not caffeine.
Right.
And it's not going to make him strong. That's something else. It's for It's for the thing that really matters.
Exactly. The ability to enhance, to display that power in a short amount of time,
and to make the decisions quicker. And I've seen it enough times with enough people. Rick, this has been in development. Rick had been talking about this for 10 years. So it'd been in development for a long time. He was in contact with the people in the old Leningrad there at the they have an institute there that's doing genetic research, genome research, right? But they've got a whole section. They got a whole section dedicated to athletes. And he had been talking to them about changing gene expression with these supplements. And this is what this came from, was that changing the way that the explosive athlete, he's got a guy that's genetically gifted, has these genes that express themselves a certain way, right?
Right.
And this affects that, the way the gene expresses it. It actually turns genes on and off on the genetic level. So I think we're onto something.
More.
I'm gonna get you more, and I'd love for you to try it out with different people.
I will.
Let me know what you think, and you can read the science because the book has all the science right there.
I'm gonna give it to Ryan. I'm gonna give some to Ryan Flaherty too.
Okay, yeah. I'll supply anybody that you know that wants to do it. You let me know. I'll supply them. I'm happy to.
Okay, perfect.
I'm really just trying to get the word out as to look. You're one of the. If I called 30 other NFL strength coaches, they wouldn't even know what I'm talking about. But you're one of the few people who appreciates what I'm actually trying to say.
They're trying to do.
Because what they're thinking, oh well, if it's gonna help my guys bench, if it's not gonna help that, then they don't care. And that's not what it's about. You know what I mean?
I wish the bench press was the greatest indicator of athleticism.
Oh my God!
Neither's a hang clean. None of that.
Drives me freaking nuts.
Can tell me how great an athlete's going to be.
Yeah, it tells you nothing. And so the point is that when Rick and I got together, we wanted to zero in on what makes you a good athlete, not what makes you a good workout warrior. What makes you a good athlete? And so that's what this was about. It's about the thing that gets the check cut for the player. You know, your guys are there. They're trying to get paid. You know, they like playing and they like winning.
Too.
Yeah.
That's a very short amount of time that they're here too.
And they don't know if it's going to be over tomorrow.
Yep.
I mean, those guys, NFL guys, are literally living one day to the next because they cut your butt the moment they think you farted stinky. They can just get you out of there.
Let me tell you something. They bring in somebody to take your job every year.
Yeah, you're so replaceable. It's unbelievable. You're more replaceable than a toilet paper roll because they got to go get the toilet paper. You know what I mean? The player, they got the guy that's replacing you standing behind you.
I got to remember that one.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm here for you. But anyway, I'm going to get all this together in one box, buddy. Send me over the text. I'm going to put a box together for you. Anything that Anthony, that you don't have, let me know. If you see something at the conference, you know Jeff, you'll meet Matt. You tell them whatever you want, and they'll give it to you.
Great. Joseph, we appreciate your time.
Hey, we appreciate your time.
Great, Jeff. Nice meeting you.
Let's get back together again. I enjoyed myself thoroughly.
We will. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right. Take it easy.
Take care.